All right, so here we are. I think this is number 8, and what we have here is a model of a SIG pistol. And if you have a look at this one, overall, first glance, not too bad. It looks pretty good, but you'll see that there's a couple of things that pop out right away. Now, first off, in terms of the difficulty here, these little fine areas and areas underneath here with sharp edges, metal can often be a little difficult to capture because it's shiny and it causes some problems. So this is a little more difficult, especially back here on the bottom part of the slide. You can definitely have some difficulties here. So this is probably like a 7 on the scale of difficulty. And let's look at the photographs for a second. So you'll see here that there was a partial ring that was made across here, which was pretty good. So there was 13 photographs, but this should have been closed. Having a closed ring would have helped significantly. So the quantity of photographs could have been improved for sure, although they just got enough coverage to get, the top side of the slide. A few more photos would have been better. The photos themselves aren't too bad. They're pretty good, but you can see that there's a bright spot coming from the left side here. In fact, let me bring this up. So if I go over here, you'll see there's a little bit of a shine up on this part of the handle of the grip, and that's going to cause some problems. So whenever you get like a hot spot or a bright spot and it's sort of in the same kind of area, well, that can cause a little bit of a problem. So a little bit of adjustment on the lighting would have helped a little bit. But let's take a look at the model without texture for a second, and then we'll come back to the texture. So you'll see the grip looks really nice. That looks good. Over here, we're getting some ugliness, and that's probably because of all the shine. So where we had that glare up on this part of the handle, that's probably where we're getting some problems. You'll see some of these haven't been reconstructed. So if you look at these photos, again, they're pretty good. They're kind of close, but you can actually get in closer. I would have gotten in much, much closer, especially when there's some dark areas. So for example, under here, the bottom of the slide, you see it's just a mess. And if you look at the photographs, like if I go, let me go the other way. So under here, so these dark areas here are very difficult to reconstruct. So as a result, you're not going to get much detail in here. So this is where lighting will help, reflecting some light on there, or adding some lighting, whatever it is that you need to do will be helpful there. And I would even get in closer. There's nothing wrong with getting closer into this particular model. So there's still room here, and there's still a bit of room here. So you can push it a little bit more. Okay, now in terms of the the image quality itself, it's not too bad. And if we look at some of the settings, what do we got here? So we've got about half a second exposure. F number is 13. We could have bumped that up a little bit for a little bit better depth of field. And the ISO is 200. You could have gone down to 100 with some of the manual controls. So not too bad on the settings. And the texture, if we go back and have a look, it doesn't look too bad. I mean, it's okay. It's there's some stuff here that looks a little wobbly. This is partially texture and geometry, so yeah, it could have been improved. And you can see here this top side really needs some improvement, and that's really because it's just a lack of additional photographs. So yeah, this particular one I think I would give like a 5 or something like that as an overall score. So let's move on and let's do something. I'll try to show something more difficult in terms of using photogrammetry.